Hello, hello, welcome to our Global Youth Leadership Program Momentum Session. We are so excited that you're here. My name is Marlon Smith, and I want you to understand right now, there's greatness within you. There is greatness within you. So now's the time for you to decide, what are you gonna do to make a difference? Listen, back in August, we had a phenomenal experience together. And in San Diego, hundreds of us came together from so many countries, so many states throughout the US, but now it's about, what are we going to do to make a difference? And I want to start off by you understanding there's greatness within you. I don't just think this, I know this. I know this. But now it's time for you to maximize your potential. And so this Global Youth Leadership Program Momentum Session, I'm so excited because Sergio, is the man with the plan. And it's so amazing, it's so beautiful. I believe that all of us are divine in our purpose. And so Sergio got this download and he said, you know what? I want to be a messenger of hope. And so we create these momentum sessions, and I want to go ahead now and just thank Sergio. I'm going to turn it over to him because I want to make this interactive. Sure, I can just talk to you and I have a lot to share in this 35-minute session, but I want you to understand it's about you getting your answers and you sharing your feedback. So Sergio, would you be so kind to share with us, for those that are listening live, I want them to know what is the process for them to post their question or post a comment. I'm gonna turn it over to Sergio.
Perfect. What up, everybody? So in the GYLP Momentum Sessions Facebook group, there's a post pinned to the top, and that's the link where most of you guys came onto this call. Under that, you can comment, and that's where we're gonna comment all the questions, all the comments you have for Marlon. For all of you watching live, if you want to refresh and make sure that you hit live, that way you'll be right up to speed and ask any questions you got. Back to you, Marlon.
Thank you. So, with that, one of the things that came up is, when we talk about, really living with purpose, that's the title of this particular momentum session. How do you live with purpose? First of all, you have to first discover, what is your purpose? What is your purpose? In my belief, in my heart, I believe each one of us was born with certain gifts and talents. But let's be honest, sometimes life can be confusing. Sometimes we can get distracted. Sometimes we can procrastinate, and we're gonna talk about that. But I want you to understand right now, once you have that laser focus, life takes on new meaning. It's almost like a piece of paper being blown up in the wind. You're just going through life. I wake up, I eat breakfast, I come home, I watch TV, and then, for those of you that are in school or have a job, you wake up, you take a shower, you eat breakfast, you go to work, you go to school, you come home, turn on the TV, eat dinner, get on the phone, get on the internet. It's just a cycle. But, it's like you're being blown up in the wind. Sometimes you're good, sometimes you're feeling down. But my question is, what is your focus? What is your purpose? Because once you can become the wind, are y'all hearing me? Once you become the wind, then you direct your course. So what is your purpose? So that's my first question. What is your purpose? And the reason I bring that up is because I want you to understand there's greatness within you, but it's now time for you to get clear. That's why one of the things I really encourage everyone to do is keep a journal. How do you have a successful life? It's many successful years. How do you have a successful year? Many successful months. How do you have a successful month? Many successful what? Weeks. How do you have a successful week? You know the answer. Many successful, of course, days. So it all comes down to what we focus on a daily life journey. Because if you focus on your daily successes, you'll have a successful life. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? So here's my, because again, I'm not sharing anything with you that I don't do. This is not theory. These are, you can see this. I've got my daily success. And what I ask myself in my success leadership journal is 3 questions. And I want to share this with you because I believe this will help you get clarity on your purpose. Question number 1, what was good about today? What was good about today? That's a powerful question because what you focus on becomes your reality. Straight up. Right now I can focus on things that can make me angry, can make me sad, can make me depressed, can make me happy, can make me joyful, can make me excited. Right now. So the questions, if we ask empowering questions, we'll have an empowered life. So that's number 1. What was good about today? Let's celebrate today. Do you understand? It's a blessing to be alive. It's a blessing for you to be here right now. Listen, any day above ground is a great day. If you don't believe me, try missing one. Are you with me? So I'm saying that with you because I want you to understand right now there's greatness within you. So question number one, what was good about today? Number two, I love question number two. What did I learn today? What did I learn today? That's a powerful question because you see, by learning, you're growing. You know, Tony Robbins talks about CANI, constant and never-ending improvement. Either you're growing or you're dying. So by you focusing on your daily successes and by you focusing on what you're learning, life takes on new meaning. So question number two, what did I learn today? And every single day we're learning so many things, but a lot of times if we don't focus on it, we just forget. So that's question number two. And question number three, the last question that I want to encourage you to join me in your success leadership journal. Question number three, what did I do today to move closer to fulfilling my purpose? What did I do today to move closer to fulfilling my purpose? Fulfilling my goals, fulfilling my mission. Are you with me? You see, here's the question. Here's the real question. Do you understand that what you do today will dictate where you'll be tomorrow? I mean, it's real. For me to be standing with you right now and sharing this information with you, do you understand public speaking used to be my number one fear? Straight up. It was my number one fear. I'm talking about, I studied electrical engineering at the University of Virginia, and I thought I'm good at math and science. And I'd say, I can do this, but then I was tricked. I had English classes, I had humanities classes, I had to give presentations. I had no idea I had to do that. And I remember my professor, he'd call us down alphabetical order, and I'll never forget the student before me. He'd go in alphabetical order. His last name is Sanchez. My last name is Smith. And so the professor would say Sanchez, and Sanchez would walk down, and I'm sitting and I'm watching, right? I'm watching Sanchez and I'm watching the clock. I'm watching Sanchez and I'm watching the clock. And I'm saying, Sanchez, take your time, brother, take your time. Because Sanchez was giving his presentation. And so, I was like hoping I would get another, couple of days. I didn't have to speak, but sure enough, the professor said, Smith. And I had to walk down, and my heart was beating fast. I'm beating fast. And I'm looking out at my classmates, and I start perspiring. My knees are shaking. I'm buckling. And sometimes if I gave a long presentation, next thing you know, foam be coming out my mouth. And the reason why I'm sharing that with you is because that had me. That fear had me. But what I did was I said, you know what? I'm going to take a public speaking class. I'm going to step into my fears. And yes, I got to be honest with you. I'm right hand to the man. I'm being honest. My first couple presentations, I bombed. But you know what I learned? It's just like riding a bicycle. The more you do it, the better you become. And so I, moved out to Silicon Valley, worked for Hewlett Packard, as a systems engineer. And I started volunteering, going into schools, talking to young people about making healthy choices. And January 15th, 1992, I decided to resign from my corporate job. And when I resigned, all mess broke out. People thought I had lost my mind. My grandmother called me up, talking about, baby, what you doing? Why you give up your job? I said, Grandma, I'm a motivational speaker. I'm motivating young people, Grandma. She said, baby, you better get motivated. You better get that job back. And that's where my grandmother was. And so why am I sharing this with you? I'm sharing it with you not to impress you, but rather to impress upon you. You fast forward 23 years later, I've spoken in 45 states, 16 countries. I'm living my dream. And why am I saying this to you? Because I want you to understand, by you focusing on what did you do today to move closer to fulfilling your purpose, oh my goodness, life takes on new meaning. It takes on new meaning. And so what I'm here to say, give yourself this gift, please join me. I know we got some questions. I'm going to turn it over to Sergio to ask some questions, but some of the questions were about momentum. How do you keep the fire alive? This is a strategy. This is one strategy. By writing in your leadership success journal, I promise you, life takes on new meaning because now you're focusing on your daily successes. Number one, what was good about today? Number two, what did I learn today? Number three, what did I do today to move closer to fulfilling my purpose? And so with that being said, I'm so excited. And I just wanted to kick off, because I want you to understand there's greatness within you. So Sergio, let's go ahead and open up the floor for some of those questions, my brother.
All right. That was an amazing introduction. First one right off the bat, since we already got a little bit into momentum, we have a couple different questions about momentum. The first one coming from Danny. GYLP changed me. After that, I'm more motivated to do more than ever. But the thing is, momentum after the event, sadly, slowly fades away. It will not fade completely, but it still fades. I don't feel so much energy as after GYLP. So the question is, how do you retain momentum when, for example, in school, things get hard or put you down? We also
Wow.
have that same kind of question, similar, from Stella. Any advice and tips on how to keep momentum up?
Wow. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Stella. I mean, momentum. I get it. I mean, live event. Come on, y'all. I mean, Kathy Buckley was rocking. Anon was rocking it. Our team leaders were phenomenal in San Diego. It was incredible. We had the AV crew. I mean, it was just incredible. And, let's not forget Felix and the board break. Oh, my goodness. That's my brother from another. And Scott Rankin talking about, contribution. And we heard other young people, Sergio being one of them, about who had come as an ambassador and now is doing some phenomenal things in the world. And so I get it, man, that experience, 4-day experience was life transforming. But now you're saying, okay, I'm back forward, right? Y'all love that. I'm forward, I've gone forward, to my home, to my school environment, around my peers. So how do I keep the momentum alive? Well, here's what I want you to understand. Here's what I really want you to get. You cannot give what you do not have. The first step to leadership is self-leadership. You remember on day one, I talked about if I have an orange or an apple. If I have an orange and I peel the orange and I squeeze the orange over a glass, what type of juice will I get? Orange juice. If I take an apple in another hand, squeeze the apple, what type of juice will I get? Apple juice. So it doesn't matter if you're an apple or an orange. You as an individual can't give what you don't have. So the first step to leadership is self-leadership. And so when we talk about momentum, I want you to understand it comes from within. It's not about going to a seminar. It's not about going to a workshop. It's about you in your core, in your essence, saying, boom, this is who I am. I am here. Just like when we broke through the board, we broke into our opportunities and our possibilities. One of the things you have to understand is that, boom, you felt it. You knew this was you. There was no changing. There was nobody that could tell you you couldn't. And so how do you continue that? Well, I think there's a few things. I talked about the Success Leadership Journal. That's number one. I think that's powerful. Also, you each received a copy of Living with Purpose. I want to encourage you, give yourself this gift and go through this book. But you know what? To make the book come alive, have an accountability partner or accountability partners. That's one way for you to continue the momentum where you say, hey, you know what? Let's go through the book. I know some people, some alums that, they go through this book, Living with Purpose, every quarter. Because when you're going through a book, especially a workbook, you're learning, you've got new breakthroughs, you've grown, so you look at things from a different perspective. And they have accountability partners. So that's number one. I really want to encourage you to go ahead and go through the Living with Purpose book, because I'm talking about goals, I'm talking about moving through fear, I'm talking about time management, I'm talking about you creating, your mission statement. And number two I want to share is having your goals affirmation collage. I call this my goal affirmation collage binder. I've got a goal affirmation collage poster, in my office, in my bathroom. So I'm seeing it, because remember, what you focus on becomes your reality. So every single day I see mine. I wrote out, what the Smith family, what we're about. I got pictures of my family, my friends. What am I grateful for? All the different categories of my life. What am I about? And you guys remember I even had in my goals affirmation collage, what do I value the most? So what I'm saying is that it's coming from within. It's not external. This is internal. And that's how you keep the momentum. I even have y'all remember I had my wedding vows. Oh yeah. But guess what? I also have my wife's wedding vows. Okay, Sarita. So I can remind her what she said she was going to do. You know what I'm saying? So my point is, maybe for you, it's putting your goals on index cards. I have some young people, right now I'm in New Jersey. I'm about to facilitate a leadership seminar here in New Jersey. And, I just came off a 15-day speaking tour, doing college orientation programs, thousands of young people. Boom, I'm just flowing. And what's amazing is many of them tell me, hey, wow, this is great. And I ask, okay, where are your goals? And I've had some people tell me they got their goals on the refrigerator. Others have them on their bedroom wall, so they see it. I've had some tell me they've got them on index cards. When they're walking from class to class, they whip out their index cards. They look at their goals. I've had some tell me they got their goals on the visor to their car. When they come to a stoplight or a stop sign, they whip the visor down, looks at their goals. What I'm here to say is what you focus on becomes your reality. So number one, again, going through the Living with Purpose book, that's just a phenomenal resource. It's a workbook. And for you to go through it with some accountability partners, it could be people from GYLP, that would be awesome. Or it could even be, family members or friends. That's how you create the momentum. And then number two, creating your goals affirmation collage, focusing, looking at them. Because as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. C plus B equals A. Conceive what you can conceive in your mind and you believe in your heart, you will achieve. So that to me is very important. And the last one, the bonus for momentum, the bonus, okay, is you really saying, playing at a higher level. I think, putting out some public declarations as to what do you stand for? What are you going to achieve before the end of this year? And share your commitments. This morning I got up early and I went jogging. Okay, that's one of my commitments. My mind was saying, oh, I have so much work to do. I've been traveling, but no, boom. I said, I'm going to do it. I did it. And so my accountability partner is my wife, Sarita. I told her, baby, I'm going to exercise every single day. So, you making a public declaration, I think that's a phenomenal way to keep the momentum rolling. Okay. Thank you so much. Sergio, any other questions?
Oh yeah, we got a ton. Right off the bat, let's just start it off with Ariana saying, Marlon, you're so amazing.
Thank you, Ariana.
We've got a couple different ones. I don't know what order I want to do this in. I'm going to do it with the person who posted in advance so we can make sure we get that one. From Glennon, I'm generally a very happy and secure person. I know what I can do and what my talents are. But sometimes that little negative voice pops up and says, shouldn't you be worried? Think about what could go wrong. I know that ultimately, as long as I bring my best self, it doesn't matter how the situation turns out. How can I begin to block out that little negative voice faster?
Wow, faster. And I love what you said, Glenn, as far as faster. Because are you ever going to be able to really block it out? I have not mastered that. I feel like sometimes, watch this visual. Sometimes I got a good angel, speaking in this ear, and I got a not so good, a bad angel, right? Good thoughts coming in here, bad thoughts. So the question is, who's going to win, right? The mind is the battleground. It's the battleground. So again, a couple things, and you said faster. That's why I think, doing your power move, right? Yes, yes, yes. Boom, I'm here. I'm ready. Okay. So when those thoughts come in, boom, I just am right here. Are you with me? So you have to build that muscle. You build that muscle. So whatever your thing is, whatever your power move is, utilize it. It will get you back into state. You remember state. When it's all said and done, it's about, if you just, yes, right? And how do you, the triad, y'all remember the triad, right? Triad, number one is physiology. So yeah, when I have those thoughts coming in, boom, I jump up. I get ready. I say, yeah, okay. And then what I do, I focus on, hey, some of my successes. That's why I talk about the goals affirmation collage. What you focus on becomes your reality. And then my language, right? I can override the negative chatter. I can override it. I can be like, yo, okay, I hear you, but look, I am successful, right? Now I am the voice. I will lead, not follow. I will believe, not doubt. I will create, not destroy. I'm a force for good. I'm a force for God. I am a leader. Defy the odds. Set new standards. Step up, step up, step up. So, boom, right now. Do you hear what I'm saying? So yeah, there's going to be that chatter. And I love what you said. How can I override it faster? Because I'm not here to say you can just negate it. This is a computer. And, I haven't mastered it. I think we all, but the question is, when that chatter's going on, you got to realize, okay, who am I going to feed? Who am I going to allow to dictate how I feel? And that's the bigger call. So again, doing the power move, focusing on the triad, it works because it's all about state. It's all about state. Remember when I said, okay, show me what it looks like when you're depressed. People slouch down, right? Shallow breathing. Then I said, okay, show me what it feels like if you're going to win $1 million. Woohoo! People jumping up in joy, knocking people over. So there's a difference. So state. So thank you very much. That's a powerful question. And I'm glad you brought it up because what the mind focus on becomes reality. And so again, yeah, there's going to be some negative chatter, but boom, we can override it, and we will override it.
Awesome. So we've got a whole bunch more questions.
Okay.
So those were the ones previously before the call. So live, we've got Ashley. What are some steps we can take in order to find our purpose? And also, just to add to that, Mickey actually answered, and she said, my purpose is to be the hands and feet for those who need it, the voice for the voiceless, and the little push that some of us need to step into greatness.
Come on now. You're motivating the motivator, young lady. Oh my goodness. What? Okay. That was awesome. You know, and in regards to, you know, how do you discover your purpose? Listen, I really believe it's one of those things that it evolves. Are you with me? I mean, where you are right now in your life, you know, there's certain things that are important to you. You know, one technique I share, you know, when I'm doing presentations and, you know, talking to individuals about discovering their purpose, you know, I ask them this question: if quote unquote a genie came to you and said, I grant you 3 wishes, 3 wishes, what 3 wishes would you wish for? You know, if you could have anything, or you could make a difference in the world, or you could see the world be different or change, what would you wish for the world? And whatever those 3 answers are, you know, write them down and then look at them. Look at them and then just say, okay, what's resonating for me? See, again, I believe each one of us was born on purpose. I do, in my heart. And I think what happens is we try, unfortunately, we're living in the matrix. I'm talking about with advertising and, you know, and what other people say, and then we try to fit into somebody else's expectations of us. But if you just say, you know, what am I born to do? What are my talents? Here's something I want you to ask, you know, and please write your answers to this. I know many of you are taking notes. Number 1, you know, what are my best characteristics? What are my best characteristics? Number 2, what would I do for free? What do I love to do? What would I do for free? That's a powerful question. Because let me share this with you. I'll get back to this. But, you know, do you understand most people work for 40, 50, 60, maybe 70 hours a week to play on the weekend? That's why they have this thing called TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. But the question is, you know, a lot of people work for 40, 50 hours, 60, 70 hours a week to play on the weekend. But the question is, what is your play? What would you do for free? Can you turn your play into your work? Because if you can turn your play into your work, theoretically, you'll never work a day in your life because your play is your work. What I'm here to say is you were born on purpose. I studied electrical engineering. I did physics 3, calculus 4. I know I'm analytical, boom. And I got that. But however, what's that done? That's allowed me to be a problem solver. I'm analytical. And, you know, people say, oh, you threw away your electrical engineering degree. I said, no, I didn't. The electrical engineering degree gave me a foundation for looking at life from a different perspective. So now what I do is I've applied those skills to what I'm doing to make a difference in the world. Are you with me? So everything that's happened in your life, it's contributed to who you are. So number 1, again, you know, what are your best characteristics? Number 2, what would you do for free? What do you love to do? And number 3, I want you to answer this. What are some of your proudest accomplishments? What are some of your proudest accomplishments? See, the reason why I'm asking you that is because sometimes we don't focus on, you know, what are my best characteristics? What would I do for free? What do I love doing? And what are some of my proudest accomplishments? Because I believe in your wiring, in your DNA. No, do you understand? There's no one like you. There is no one like Sergio. There is no one like Marlon. Yeah, we may have a similar focus, a similar vision, a similar mission, but yet our style, our personalities, the uniqueness about us, it makes us different. And so, you know, with that being said, I want you to understand, you know, you need to capitalize, you need to tap into what is your essence? What makes you special? So after you answer those 3 questions, then you say, okay, boom, if a genie came to me and said, I grant you 3 wishes to make the world a better place, to make the world a better place, what would your 3 wishes be? What would your 3 wishes be? And I'm here to say this to you, Ashley, and everyone else listening. I believe you are called to make a difference. You were born with a purpose. And so, Ashley, I really believe, listen to what I'm saying, answer those 3 questions, and then if a genie comes to you, Write down, what will your 3 wishes be? And I promise you, I've done this with hundreds of individuals, if not thousands, throughout the world. And the breakthroughs, the revelation that people receive as a result of going through this, they get it. I have a program called Speaker Author Blueprint, and it's amazing. I have people, because what I want to do is I want to help more change agents. I want to help more people live in their purpose of making a difference. I've been very blessed. 23 years, 9 months ago, I resigned from my corporate position, and I've had mentors along the way help me. That's why I've written 7 books. We just had our Amazon #1 bestseller, Voices of Inspiration. And one of the things I'm clear on is I've been blessed. So I want to be a blessing for others. And so in my Speaker Author Blueprint, a training I do just to help more people how to be more effective communicators and how to, be an author and so on and so forth. There's a lady, and her name is Alex, and she was making 6 figures in her corporate position. And she went through the Speaker Author Blueprint, and she's got 2 patents and, doing very well. But as a result of going through this process, she realized, wow, I'm not really being 100% fulfilled in my job. And so I'm very happy to say that after going through our process, she decided to resign from her corporate position, just like I resigned from my corporate position years ago. And because remember, when you turn your play into your work, theoretically, you'll never work a day in your life. So Ashley, great question. With the purpose, go through that process that I just shared with you. I'm here to say, answer those 3 questions. Number 1, what are my best characteristics? Number 2, what would I do for free, right? And then, answer about the genie, the genie, what 3 wishes would I want to see for the world? And in that, you just let that be written and you meditate on it. I promise you, that revelation will happen. You'll say, wow, I feel this is my purpose. I feel in some way I can be part of the solution for making this a reality. So thank you very much, Ashley.
Perfect. All right. Next, we've got a really good one, actually, from Yuval. What is a way for us to share our GYLP experience with our peers and our family without overwhelming them?
Very good. Well, listen, I love that question. That's a phenomenal question. Because you come back from a GYLP, what? Firewall, okay, let's do this thing, break the board. But the question is, okay, remember this. This is powerful. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Oh, man, I'm telling you, that resonates with me. Look, I'm motivating myself. I don't know about you, but I'm telling you, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Oh my goodness. And so with that, I want you to understand, you coming back and you implementing what you learned at GYLP. See, this is the key. It's not about coming back and just, preaching to people, hey, you need to do this. You need to, learn about state and strategy and da-da-da. No, let your life be the example. Let your life be the example. Talk is cheap. You got to walk your talk so that way your friends will say, man, there's something different about you. The way you're talking to yourself, the way you carry yourself, the way you look at things, the conversations that we're having, I can tell your language is different. And so my point to you is, that let your life be the example. And I'm here to tell you, your family, your friends, they're watching you. But you know what? They're also thinking, this is not going to last forever. This is not going to last. And they're like, oh yeah, he's rah-rah. Most people go to seminars, get rah-rah, and then they go back and they leave it for a while and then energy dissipates. But if it becomes a lifestyle, when it becomes a lifestyle, life takes on new meaning. And people are gonna be watching you, and it might not be next week, it might not be next month, maybe it's next year. But you're consistent, people are gonna say, hey, okay, talk to me more. What you've changed. What's going on? And that is an opening for you then to share. Hey, I want to share, this is what I learned, this is what I'm applying, and that's the manifestations, that's what you're seeing. So I think that is the best way, because, there are going to be some naysayers, but, there's proof in the pudding, meaning when people see the results, when they see changes, then they say, okay, wow, okay, this is the real deal. This is the real deal. This is not just some talk. This is who you are. This is your identity. Does that make sense? So I hope that does. And I, again, walk the talk. I'm excited. Right now I got friends, from college. They think, oh yeah, Marlon, we used to do this, we used to do that. I say, yeah, that's what I used to do when I was at that time in my life. But now I'm at this phase of my life, and they can see the difference. I've got friends coming up to me and say, Marlon, okay, man, you just have this joy. 1999, well, I'm sorry, 2009 was one of the most challenging times of my life. My brother Sean, 2 years younger than me, he died in February 2009. My brother Greg, 8 years younger than me, died September 2009. One of my mentors, best friends, Bill Davis, he died Thanksgiving week, November 2009. And I share that because I had to really utilize these resources, right? I had to utilize these strategies to move forward. And I don't understand everything. I'm going to be very honest with you. But I do believe everything happens for a reason. In my core, good, bad, or indifferent, I believe everything happens to serve us. So with that, I think that, one of the things that people, even in that, people seeing me, there was a lot of pain, sure. There was a lot of, sadness, but I was still able to press forward. And I think what happened was people looked at that and then it created an opening. People were like, wow, how are you moving forward? And then I would share. So, what I want you to understand is that your opportunity will come, but your life, your lifestyle, that's going to be the greatest testimony. It's not about what you talk. It's about how you live. Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. All right. Couple more questions. So this one's from Bella, one of our youth leaders. A problem a lot of people have been talking about is stopping themselves going back into old habits and being badly influenced by their friends when going forward home. The GYLP family have been amazing with their advice, but I'd love to hear your insight on it, Marlon. So possibly talking about maybe peer group and stuff.
Awesome, Bella. Yeah, here's the thing, birds of a feather flock together, okay? And so what I want you to say straight up, is Tony Robbins talks about seventh power, and what that really is your mastermind. Who's in your ear? Remember I did Simon Says, right, at the GYLP? I'm bad at Simon Says, y'all. Yes, I am. And so check it out. One of the things I want you to understand, who's Simon in your life? Is it television? Is it your family? Is it your friends? Who's got that main influence in your life? And I believe, birds of a feather flock together. So what I want to do is surround myself with like-minded people. And for the people that, are still quote unquote negative or always, gossiping or talking about other people, I may have to just love them from a distance. Does that make sense? See, I'm building myself up. So it's my identity. But realizing that, wow, if I get around these certain peer groups, I start falling into, what they think. And remember, when two people meet, one person's here, one person's here, right? Positive, one's negative. Whoever is more committed to their emotion, they're going to influence the other person. So that negative energy, if that's more powerful, more committed, they're going to influence the positive person. But if the positive person is more passionate and like, this is who I am, he or she will influence the other person. So what you want to do is build up that muscle, build up that strength so that boom, you got it. And I really believe staying connected, posting comments in our, GYLP Facebook group. That's a great resource. I know many of you have traveled to other cities, to other countries, visiting each other. I love what you said, our GYLP family. Yes, we were born in certain families, we didn't choose that, but now we have a choice. We can choose to say who we're going to spend our time with. And to me, listen, look at this technology. So yeah, maybe somebody lives in another country, but look, with technology, we can do a Skype call. This is Google Hangouts. There's ways that we can connect. So what I'm going to encourage you, the beautiful thing is that of GYLP is that we've gone through this experience together. So now we know language, we know, state, we know, breaking through barriers. And so now we want to stay plugged in. So that is the biggest thing, your peer group, again, is very important. And what's going to happen is you're going to build the strength so it becomes your identity. This is not, some facade. This is the real deal. And once it becomes the real deal, then when you talk to your friends who maybe are not at that level yet, then they're going to feel your energy. They're going to feel your passion. They're going to say, wow, you've changed. And for some of them, you might just be planting a seed. Maybe they're like so resistant or so ingrained in their old habits that you just plant a seed and you have to love them from a distance. From others, they may say, man, I want some of what you got. Okay, what do I need to do? And boom, that's an opening. And then bring them to GYLP, next year, 2016. Let's roll. Let's do this thing, okay? Or even connect them in the meantime to our GYLP Facebook group page. They can see the energy, they can see the passion, or connect with some other people, via Skype or, Google Hangouts, and they can feel the energy, all right? Remember this, if people knew better, they do better. Let that sink in. If people knew better, they do better. I'm not here to throw anybody under the bus. I'm here to say I'm here to have compassion for others, right? I'm here to understand, wow, for me, I'm a man of faith, by the grace of God go I. So I've been very blessed, and I'm not here to throw anybody under the bus. If people knew better, they do better. So potentially you're the change agent. You're going to be the one to introduce your friends to this technology, to our GYLP family, and that's how we all grow. That's how we all blossom. So thank you very much.
All right, awesome. This isn't a question, it's actually a comment for any of you watching, because I know we got quite a few people live right now. Now's the time to post your comments in the GYLP Momentum Sessions Facebook group, pinned to the top. On that post, comment under there. So here we've got Ibtihal. I don't have a particular question, but I just want to say thank you for helping me become the best version of myself. And stop being afraid and just be outstanding and step up. You completely changed my life at GYLP, and I'm so grateful for you, Marlon.
Wow, thank you so much for that. And I'm grateful for you. Each one teach one, each one reach one. And, I want to say this, it's a team effort. There's, Tony Robbins, the foundation, all the speakers, the trainers, the team leads, youth coaches. It's just phenomenal. And that's what we're doing. Because, as fingers on the hand, there's only so much power. But when we come together, that's when there's real power. And so I thank you for that. And I just want to say this, you stepped up. Nobody made you. You took ownership. Because remember this, faith and fear cannot operate at the same time. Either you're walking with faith or you're walking with fear. So the question is, you got to decide, boom, every single day we have choices to make. And remember what I said about fear. Y'all remember the first day I talked about fear and how many of y'all like to dance, how many of y'all like to go to parties. And remember I told you about the dance club I went to. But when you have fear come up, and I'm going to share this with you because I want you to get it. When there's something that you want to do and fear pops up, fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of what people say, fear of the unknown, that's when you got to make a choice. Most people let fear hold them back. And what I'm here to say is you got to step into your fears. You got to go for it, because it's in that moment when you step into your fears, that's when you walk in your greatness. That's when you walk in your greatness. So thank you so much for that question, or not question, thank you for that feedback. I really appreciate it. I receive it. And I'm just very grateful. For me, being grateful, having an attitude of gratitude, that's life. That is life. And I'm grateful for this opportunity. I'm grateful that Sergio has taken it upon himself to say, you know what, I want to be part of the solution. And here's one of my gifts, by facilitating these momentum sessions. So, each one of us, each one teach one, each one reach
one. Thank you, Marlon. We actually just got another question from Elena. What should I do when my friends bring me down for having a positive attitude? I don't let their words get to me, but sometimes it just shoots me down. I've distanced myself a lot from the ones who do that, but they always seem to find a way to bring their negativity back into my life.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. And that's so true. Words, right? It's got vibration. It's a boomerang, right? And so sometimes you can be away from somebody, but it gets back to you. I get it. But I want you to also think about this. Let's try this on. That's why I think the journaling is so important. Please, everyone, give yourself the gift starting today. Again, what was good about today? What did I learn today? What did I do to move closer to my dreams, my goals, fulfilling my purpose? Those 3 questions, you make that a habit, it becomes your lifestyle. And so I want to say that because here's the reason I'm bringing this up, because there's going to be trials and tribulations. There's going to be curveballs thrown your way. Life, it's a series of ups and downs, ups and downs. But by you going through those low points, by you having some naysayers and people, throwing, venom, it's when you go through those low points. It's when you go through those hard times. That's when I believe, I'm forced to my knees, and that's when I have to, okay, what can I learn from this? So that's the question, bonus question in your journal is, what can I learn from this? Because even when I'm going through the low points, check this out. When I'm going through challenges or trials and tribulations, I ask myself one question that changes everything. And that question is this: what can I learn from this? What can I learn from this? So yeah, when I have friends or I have people that, quote unquote, did me wrong, I always ask myself, what can I learn from this? Because you see, remember this, life is an emotional roller coaster. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. But by going through those low points, that's when you grow. That's when you learn a lesson. So now, there are always ups and downs, but it now has an upward progression because you're learning, you're growing. Does that make sense? And I now believe, Rick Warren talks about get excited. Get excited when problems come, when challenges come. Why? Because it's an opportunity to show your faith. Remember what I said, faith and fear cannot operate at the same time. So when challenges come, it's an opportunity to build that muscle. Build that muscle. So yeah, there's gonna be naysayers, there's gonna be issues, but remember this, I really believe that when challenges come, it's an opportunity to show your faith and for you to grow. So now if you have that perspective and you're writing in your journal, what can I learn from this? It changes everything. It's a game changer. So yeah, those friends may still be negative, but boom, you're just a shining light because you realize someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. Someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. And once you get that, woo-hoo, life takes on new meaning. All right, thank you.
All right, a couple more questions, and I know you've got to go run your mission and do another leadership talk right after this. And these are pretty similar, so I'm going to read both of them. And I think you've already touched on quite a bit of this. From Grant, when you're in an environment where distractions are everywhere, how do you stay focused on your life mission? And then on top of that, Cameron, what do you do if you try to surround yourself with good people, but you struggle to find people who lift you up and don't just bring you down? Thanks, Marlon.
Thank you both for those phenomenal questions. And number one, how do you stay focused? We talked about it, creating your goals, affirmation collage, writing in your journal. I mean, I got to tell you, remember what I'm saying is it's not about it coming from the outside in. It's about you feeling it on the inside. You know what I'm saying? As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So, yeah, there's mess going on, but remember this, your misery, right? I'm gonna try to catch this. I mean, for those of you taking notes, catch this. Your misery can become your ministry. Ouch! Oh, that feels good. Your misery can become your ministry. So yeah, when you go through the valley, when you're going through trials and tribulations, for you to stay focused on the end result, right? For you to say, you know what, I'm gonna come out of this. Have that faith. I will come. Everything happens for a reason. Boom. You get out of it, and then boom, all of a sudden now you can be a testimony for others. You can help others that are going through it. Do you understand what I'm saying? I mean, listen, we are here to give. It's not about just you. It's not about, what kind of car you drive, what school you went to, how much money you make. No, we are here on earth to be change agents. We're here to be blessings. We're here to shine more light. And so with that, when you get that on a higher level, then you're like, wow, okay, my life matters. My life counts. So that to me would be the answer to that question. How do you, when you're going through stuff, how do you stay focused? How do you keep on keeping on? And, again, remember, there's greatness within you. I don't just say that. I know that. You have to believe it now. You got to walk and say, yeah. Remember the mirror exercise? That's another thing I want to share, especially with question number 2. That mirror exercise, did you do your mirror exercise today? Ooh, did you? Sergio, you do yours. I'm coming back out. I'm putting you on the spot, right? Okay, he gave me the thumbs up. He said he did his, all right? But did you do yours? That mirror exercise, man, and remember, that's in living with purpose. If you have not gone through living with purpose, hey, what can I say? How bad do you want it? You were blessed to come to GYLP. Do you understand? So, oh, Sergio was just showing me his. Okay, okay. And you were blessed to be at GYLP. You were blessed to be at GYLP. Ooh, I'm rhyming, y'all. Y'all better watch out, okay? Y'all don't know who I am, okay? Don't be fooled by the dimple, all right? I'm about to get into it. But you were blessed to be at GYLP. I like that. I think that needs to be a tagline. What? But here's what I want you to understand. You know, that mirror exercise, right? You know, I'm talking about the mirror exercise, and, you know, I have it in the book. And I just want, you know, for everybody to really understand that, you know, to me, this is what it's about. You know, once you're clear on your goals and you know who you are, okay, on page 43, right, of the book, you know, I'm talking about the mirror exercise. And so what's the mirror exercise? The mirror exercise, remember, every morning when you brush your teeth, every evening, you know, after you brush your teeth, look yourself in the mirror and you give yourself some positive recognition, you know, hey, you know, I feel good today. Man, I love me. Right? You know, and remember I used to do it at GYLP. I say, you know, look in the mirror and tell me what you see. Don't say a dirty hand, right? But I say, you know, look in your mirror and say, you know, I'm beautiful. I'm smart. There's no one like me. I'm a winner. I'm not a quitter. Ooh, I love you. Mwah, right? And, you know it may sound elementary, speaking into the mirror, but remember, I studied electrical engineering in school. You know, when I was in college, I could break a computer down. I could put it back together. That's my training. I know 7 different programming languages. But do you understand the greatest computer on the face of this earth is not IBM, it's not Sun, it's not DEC, it's not Apple, it's not HP. The greatest computer is where? Right here. But it's all in what you program the computer to do. If only garbage comes into your computer as the input, only garbage can come out as the output. So that's why that mirror exercise is so important, because, you know, if I ask you, you know, over the last 7 days, how many times have you been told you're loved? How many times over the last 48 hours has somebody come up to you and said, man, I'm glad you're in my life? How many times today have you gone to somebody and said, you know what, I'm grateful for you? What I'm here to say is sometimes we're so busy, we don't slow down. We're not getting the recognition from others, and we're not giving it. So what I'm saying is give it to yourself. Do the mirror exercise starting tonight for the next, y'all are leaders, let's do it for 7 days. Tomorrow morning, tomorrow night, next morning, next night, morning, night, you know, for 7 days. And you then, you know, post in GYLP, you know, our Facebook group page, what breakthroughs did you have? Because I'm real clear, when I look myself in the eyes and I give myself some positive recognition, I feel good, you know? And regardless of how the day has turned out, I can look myself in the eyes and say, you know what? I'm still standing. I'm still standing. So that's my gift to you, you know, that mirror exercise. Thank you.
All right, I think this might have to be our last question. It's 10:50 over here. And this actually came from Nate Thompson, one of the team leaders from Team Love Wins.
All right.
Yeah. Sometimes people who have been a part of our life don't get or support who we are or where we're going. When is it time to let go of relationships? Do you let go of disempowering relationships? And I know you talked about loving them from a distance, but maybe you can just touch on that real quick and then we'll wrap it up.
All right, excellent. Nate, thank you for that phenomenal question, you know, because, yeah, you know, life is interesting, you know, and some people get stuck. However, I really believe if people knew better, they do better. As you know, I'm a man of faith, so I pray. You know, yes, you know, there's 3 dimension, right? What I can feel, smell, touch, right? You know, what I see, you know, that's 3rd dimension. But I believe on a higher level, there's a 4th dimension, spiritual realm, okay? And when you look at, you know, the 6 human needs, right, that Tony Robbins talks about so eloquently, right? You know, need number 1 is what? Certainty, right? Number 2, variety or uncertainty, right? Number 3, significance. 4, love and connection. 5, what? Growth. And number 6, contribution. And so when you really get to it, you know, a lot of people are operating in that, you know, the 4, you know, certainty, variety, significance, love. But once you get into a growth and contribution, life takes on new meaning. it takes on new meaning. And so what I'm saying to you is, yes, sometimes we have to love people from a distance because, you know, if their presence or their energy is deflating us, then it's not healthy. However, I really believe power of intention. So sometimes you may have to write a letter, maybe send an email, send a text to them, maybe encourage them to read this book with you. Maybe you have them watch this video so that they can change their focus. They can change and understand. You know, many times I do a lot of training all over the world, and when I meet, you know, individuals who have had some, you know, curveballs thrown, right? I'm talking about abuse or, abuse from their family or, some hardcore stuff. Got caught up in gang activity or whatever the case be. What I do is I then find some individuals who had a similar experience, a similar journey, and find out, show the individuals I'm dealing with how these other people who had very similar stories, right, similar experiences, but look at how they've elevated themselves. I love how when Tony talks about Oprah Winfrey, I mean, you look at her, upbringing, and you look at her childhood experiences. I mean, you would not think she would be where she is now. So that's an example. So what we have to do is, Nate, is really, for those beliefs, right? Because people have their beliefs, and about the 4 legs, and sometimes we just got to really kind of knock at some of those beliefs, so now their belief is wobbled, right? And so I really believe is that, power of prayer. I mean, prayer is amazing. Power of positive intention, amazing. And so with that, I choose who's in my inner circle. I'm very clear on that. It's a privilege, it's the way I look at it, right? I'm grateful for you, you're grateful for me. We bring something together. So I choose who's my inner circle. And so that's my way of doing it. However, again, I always am dropping seeds or sharing information or sharing positive intention or prayers with those who may not be at that level yet to be in my inner circle, right? Because of maybe some baggage they're carrying. And, it's a situational thing for sure. But I want you to understand, I believe you, Nate, and others, we're change agents. And so the key is for us to operate in that mindset of saying, okay, like I have this, this belief, he's not heavy, he's my brother. I joined a fraternity when I was in college. And what we learned is that you don't leave no man behind, right? And so with that, there's gotta be a way, right? There's gotta be a way. So again, it's, situation by situation, but I want you to understand, first of all, we have to make sure we're taking care of ourselves because the power is within. The power is within. And so, we have to make sure that, boom, we're coming at a high level of consciousness. And then, again, I journal. And many times when I journal, this is the other thing about power of journaling, is I ask myself, when I'm faced with a decision, I write down, I start writing, and it's amazing the answers I get. Sometimes I get revelation, I get epiphanies as to, okay, maybe if I do it this way, boom, I can have a greater breakthrough. So even with those individuals in your lives who may not, be fulfilling their true purpose or, manifesting, the greatness within them, go ahead and journal on it. And I believe, the answer will come. And then, again, let's celebrate our breakthroughs at the GYLP Facebook group page, so that we can really start celebrating. Because when you hear somebody else's success story, it's like, wow, if he did it or if she did it, I can do it. Right? Or maybe you post, hey guys, I'm dealing with this situation. Does anyone have any suggestions? And let all of us kind of brainstorm together. So that's a powerful way to really empower and inspire and to shine our light. Because when it's all said and done, that's really what it's about. And I'm going to pass it over to Sergio. He's going to be talking about our next momentum session. I hope this has been phenomenal. I know it has, because whenever we come together, there's power. But as we're about to roll, I just want to leave you with this quote. And it's the first quote in Living with Purpose. And the reason why I want you to really resonate with this is because, to me, this is what it's all about. It says, a vision without action is just a dream. A lot of action without a vision is merely a passing of time. But a vision with action can change the world. So with that, I say thank you. And I encourage you, this was entitled Living with Purpose, right? So let's live with purpose. Let's maximize our potential. Let's shine our light bright because there's greatness in you, and let's help others walk in their greatness. Stay blessed.
Yeah. Awesome, Marlon. So we've actually got a quick comment from Gabby. You are an incredible example of a leader, Marlon. You truly walk the talk. Thank you so much for being an inspiration to the world. We are so blessed to have you.
Thank you, Gabby. Thank you. So I'm so honored, so grateful.
All right, everybody. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. For those of you that are still here, there's about 30 of you live right now. You guys are unbelievable. Next month, it's actually going to be me leading the session, and we're going to have a session once a month, roughly the first Saturday of every month, fairly flexible. And then every other month, we're going to have panels. The first panel is going to be the team leader panel. So it's going to be about 6 of us, of the different team leaders, fielding different questions. Then we're going to have the coach and youth coach panel, the alumni and senior alumni panel, and then the final panel is going to be the leader of the week panel. So all the different leaders of the week are all going to be on a panel to answer all your questions. So thank you so much, Marlon. You did an unbelievable job of kicking off the momentum session, and we will see you guys all next month.
Right. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.